Welcome to another edition of Insurance Questions Podcast Hump Day, episode 84. Can you believe that? I can't believe it.
That's crazy.
It is Wednesday, May 29th, and I'm broadcasting from beautiful Greenville, Texas. Sarah's in McKinney, and Don is in Golden Street, Williamsville, New York, Amherst area of New York. You know, they're pretty fancy there. We get our house cleaning done first. All the comments and remarks by Eddie Buffalo, Sassy Sarah, and Donnie Lowe are purely for entertainment purposes. There you go. Hey, we got something exciting to announce, and this is something we talked about, Sarah. I'm not pulling anything out of my butt, just to surprise you.
You do like to do that, so
no, I'm not gonna. I'm tired of getting hollered at after these podcasts.
I don't holler. I talk very loudly.
That mom voice.
It's
Sir.
the motherly voice.
Why'd y'all talk about that? Blah 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 blah. I'm Sassy Sarah. Blah blah blah. So, we are now available on 3 other podcast platforms. Do you guys know what it is? Do you remember what I told you?
No. Why would I remember? You told me last week.
Picture. Pandora, which actually my ex and my kids listen to Pandora all the time. So I was kind of surprised. And the big one, you ready?
Sirius XM, right?
Sirius XM, yes.
I paid attention.
Up there with Howard Stern, which a couple times I've mentioned that to Sarah. And she's like, no, you got to be a little bit nicer, Eddie.
That's not how I sound. Whatever. And I said you can't be very adult content because we're providing information for everybody. And if you want to do the shock jockey route, that's perfectly fine.
What kind of horses did them shock jockeys wear? What they ride? Sarah's shock jockeys are riding them horses. Woo! Shoot. Did she just call us adults, Don?
That's kind of scary.
Kinda. Wow. That's the best compliment you've ever given me. Hey.
Don't blow it.
No. So yes, people are very concerned about Sarah. She is still vitamin D deficient. But we are gonna get that fixed. I'm gonna get her some more lamps.
Oh, can I mention one of the weird tax tips that I found?
Who's that, Don? Horseshack. Ooh, Mr. Cotter.
Mr. Cotter.
Okay, let's Sarah talk.
Hold on, I gotta find it now. So you
weren't even prepared?
I was not, because I wasn't gonna bring it up. So for tax tips, I'm gonna give a random historical or current tax tip that is completely odd and out of
your calendar. It is not Tax Tuesday, Sarah. So
no, I know, but I have to mention this because it was hilarious and it ties into
You sent me some good ones.
Yes, I did. Hold on. So basically, it was a window tax.
In Massachusetts. Massachusetts.
No, it's in England in 1696. So smaller houses paid less, but if you lived in urban cities where multiple people lived in one building, they had to pay the window tax because it was one house.
That makes sense.
If you go into England, they stopped having so many freaking windows in the building, so they didn't have to pay the tax. And it eventually stopped in 1851. So it went over almost 200 years. It's hilarious.
I'm so glad
it ties into why I'm probably a reincarnate from someone from England.
You would definitely get taxed for your whiteness. Just saying.
Pretty much.
Just saying. Why did you let her hijack our show, Don?
You do it all
How many times did I say it's not Tax Tuesday, Sarah?
Whatever. That was a very awesome tip. You're the one who wanted to make fun of me. I had a tip for you.
Now, Sarah,
that was very
tip,
interesting.
and you know what I'm going to end up saying, and I'm trying to be a good boy.
No,
don't say it.
Don't go there.
Good.
Don't go there.
I try. It's like the devil's on my shoulder saying, Eddie, say it. She's going to yell at you about something else anyways, so just say it.
Most
And
people
poor-
have the
poor
devil
little-
on one shoulder.
Or my
and the
Lord, poor little
angel on the
angel's
other.
like,
Yeah,
I
no,
just
he
give
has
up.
2 devils.
Yeah.
I just give up. I can't do anymore. Yeah, I know we talk about weird things. I was telling Sarah I was watching an interesting movie last night called Interview with the Devil.
Mm.
It's like a horror movie, but it's like an old Johnny Carson type TV show. They even mention Johnny Carson a lot. So
Interesting.
it's not something that you really, want to pay money for. Wait till it comes on, cable or streaming. But it was interesting. It really was. So, Don, what are we going to talk about today? Because it is Hump Day and it's Insurance Podcast Day.
It is. It is.
What
And
you got?
you had a great idea to talk about really the delivering on what the intent and purpose of life insurance is for.
Just so you know, someone on the screen that's very wet said that we are really Debbie Downers talking about this today, Don. Just so you know.
You know what?
She was talking some sass. I wonder who
Yeah,
that
you
was.
gotta make it
I'm
where
not
it's
gonna
not
name
so
names.
down, and you gotta make it a little bit more lively.
Well, we will do that.
Oh, Don, you're always full of energy. Yeah. Get us going, Don. Let's entertain the masses, Don. Let me tell you what.
All right. So when we write a policy with somebody, it's to protect their family. And it's to protect the people that person loves. And it's just a way of them saying, I love you after the inevitable comes. But it's not only the idea of giving a check to somebody, to a surviving spouse or beneficiary, a child, or whomever that beneficiary is. It's so that they can maintain at a minimum their current way of living. So when we give that benefit to the survivor, it's not just like, here's a check, here you go.
Yeah.
We are there to assist them so that they can just, if they need to grieve, they can grieve. We'll handle all the other stuff that might be mundane to some people, but we'll talk with the funeral director if we need to. We'll coordinate with their financial advisor,
They're always
accountant.
a real fun group to talk to. Let me tell
you. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh boy. But we'll kind of coordinate everything so that the family can just focus in on what they need to focus in on. And
now,
that's critical.
There's a couple, interesting things that happen. Like when I first started in the business, we had guys that were quite a bit older than we were, Don. And it was sad because a couple times, I'd say maybe 3 times it happened where someone passed away and they had beautiful whole life policies,
Mm-hmm.
and either they took so many loans on and they collapsed, or they just stopped paying and all the dividends, once the dividends were gone, so was the policy. And that is the worst feeling. And even like a friend of mine passed and his wife's like, oh, I know, you probably got a lot of insurance through, you probably bought a lot through you. And I'm like, no, he didn't. He always talked about it, but he never even got a policy from me. So people don't think of that side of it. Like, Sarah, don't do that to me. All right. If I tell you to get insurance, you get insurance. And then you croak off and your husband says, Eddie, where's the insurance policy? Well, Sarah was too busy to do the insurance policy. Let me tell you what. So you are SOL, my friend.
Or I took the money that I was supposed to pay for the health insurance and I used it to get my nails done, which people who know me, I don't get my nails done. I'm just.
Yeah. You use the money to get a tattoo. Let's see your new tattoo, Sarah. Can we see it?
Okay, so it's upside down and it's still healing.
Well, stand on your head then.
No, I'm not going to do that. That's weird. Yeah, see, I'm not that flexible. So it's a rubber duck.
Why? Why did you get a rubber duck?
My daughter, ever since she was a baby, has been addicted to rubber ducks. And so she got a rubber duck on her ankle. And I got one, but mine has a top hat and a monocle and a little bow tie.
And I asked you why, and you didn't give me a great answer.
Because I thought it was cute.
I thought it was cute.
I mean, it's a duck with a top hat and a pool.
So anyways, so
Can't
you
forget
are
the-
helping your daughter with her addiction instead of sending to her for a group for rubber duck therapy.
Why would I do that? It's
You are
rubber
an
ducks.
enabler. You're an enabler. You're just
Yes.
an enabler, Sarah. That's what
Yes.
you are.
You should have seen how many rubber ducks she had as a kid. She had a blue one that was like this big. It was humongous. Yeah, no, if that's her addiction is rubber ducks, I will give her all the rubber ducks she wants.
You know, we're going to somehow tie this into Buffalo, New York, right?
Always.
Go
That's
ahead,
what
Don.
Eddie
Go
does.
ahead. Go ahead,
Do you
Don.
remember it was, I can't remember if it was during COVID, maybe, where they had the world's largest rubber duck in the harbor, in the canal?
I actually I can't talk.
It's easy for you to say.
Me and my buddy Nick, we actually took a kayak ride out there to look at the duck.
Oh,
Because
really?
we got super close. It was just ginormous. It was a big thing. They were putting it in all different cities. It was like, do you know where the river splits there by the arena, Don?
Mm-hmm.
That's where it
Yeah.
was.
It was in front of the silos, right? Kinda?
Not really.
Oh,
Kinda.
no?
It was like closer to like right under the Skyway, to be honest with you.
Oh, you're right.
I wonder if they needed to anchor it there or something. It was huge
Maybe.
though.
Yeah.
You don't realize how big it is until you're right next to it, you know?
Did you ever see that in Texas, Sarah? The world's largest rubber duck?
That's because they all got some real ones that are big like that, Donnie. Let me tell you what.
Everything is bigger in
Yeah.
Texas.
It is. It is. It is
Yeah.
too.
That's why my daughter doesn't like swans. She was almost attacked by one.
Ah.
All right. Well, you can't leave us hanging. Why was she attacked by a swan? Was she trying to pet it? Was she trying
Yes.
to ride it? How
No,
old
she was trying to pet it. She was with my parents at the time. They took her to a lake and she went to go pet the swan and it almost attacked. Or no, not swan. It was a goose. And it almost
Get your
attacked her.
story straight. Okay. So you gave somebody a goose, and then what happened?
Although my son wants a goose tattoo, so we can say
I
duck,
love-
duck, goose.
I love how she gave you those eyes, and then she just went in another direction. Did
That's
you
right.
notice that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
She knows how to
You've been hanging
handle it.
around with her brother Eddie Buffalo way too long. Let me tell you what.
Way too long.
And yes, this is going out to my daughters who think I'm the loudest person on the phone. That's that girl.
I only have to be loud to overtalk you. Because you
Yeah,
don't
Sarah, I
stop.
can hear you really good. Say that again. Okay, yeah. And so, why have we even talked about insurance? Where are we going? Why does she keep on derailing the show?
You're the one who brought up my tattoo. I was just making a comment.
Go ahead, do it, Don. Say it. The plane. Talking about her tattoo.
She
don't even know
played.
what that is. I don't even know what that is. Do you, Sarah? Do you, Sarah? Do you?
Yeah, it was some old school movie that I haven't seen.
Not a movie. No.
Not a movie.
Well, then no, I don't.
TV show. The lineup, it was like them, that Andy Griffith
Ricardo
show.
Montalban, right?
Yep. And then they had that Andy Griffith show where he was a junk man that made his own spaceship. And then what else, Don? What was the rest of the ABC lineup on Saturday night? Love.
I don't know.
Exciting and new. Come aboard. We're
Love
expecting
Boat.
you, the
Love
love boat.
So insurance.
So back to insurance, and then she goes on mute. Look at that. Typically, she's asking you
About
to.
time. About time she muted herself. That girl just don't shut up. She don't know. You know what it is.
So,
So
to
I
get
gotta
back-
say
just real
something.
serious.
If people get into our type of business for the money, yes, the money is good, but you also have to be good at customer service. I mean, so many of my friends were clients originally, you know.
Yes.
And I think it is a huge opportunity and privilege to help them and their family in their time of need, because you gave them what they needed to make sure their family was okay.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know about you, Don, but I mean, I've even gotten calls on Christmas Day. It was like 10:30 in the morning. My phone rang. I'm like, hey, buddy, what's going on? Merry Christmas. He goes, Eddie, she died last night. I'm like, oh. I said, there's really nothing I can do right this second, but tomorrow when the office opens, we'll get everything taken care of for you,
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
a lot, Sarah brought up, did you bring up funeral directors or Sarah? I don't know, either one.
I mentioned
But have
it.
you ever had an opportunity to go with your client to a funeral director to do pre-arrangements? Because most pre-arrangements can be made as long as they see that they do have the life insurance in place. Have you ever had the opportunity to do that?
No, I haven't had. Yeah, I haven't had that opportunity.
Trivia question. I think you probably know this already. So funeral directors, when they are setting up your arrangement, what is the only thing they can charge tax on? Tax lady.
I have not run across that question. I'm going to have to, the flowers?
Yes. If the funeral parlor actually provides flowers, they will charge tax on that. And that is it. Nothing else,
You like how I just guessed the flowers and I was right? That's awesome.
No, I'm sure you've heard me say that before and it just clicked with you then.
Oh, yes. Yes, because Eddie provided the tax information. No, it's usually because states are really weird about how they charge sales tax and it's random all over the place. And that's the safest bet is the flowers.
That's true. I think one point too to bring up is that's why for yourself, Eddie, and me, we want to meet with clients at least one time per year.
Why, Don? I don't want to
and
see
that's
you
to get
once a year. Why is that?
That's to get updated information. Maybe somebody ended up getting a divorce, or another child was born, or they want to change their beneficiaries. If that information is not updated, and say they haven't looked at their policy in 15 or 20 years.
You might not even know where it is.
Well, that's
I've heard
correct.
that before.
Correct. Or maybe there aren't valid beneficiaries any longer.
True.
So you want to make sure that everything is the way it should be. And you talk about, do you have a will? Yes. Well, when's the last time it was updated? 15 years ago. We need to get that updated. And when they come back, did you update your will? No. We need to get that updated. So just basic things like that, just to make sure that their financial house is in order.
And you're bringing up a great point, because how many times have we talked to customers? We'll come in after the fact and we'll say, well, when's the last time you talked to anybody? And they're like, when they sold me the policy.
Yes, exactly.
Which is just, to me, is just insanity. It really is. Because like you said, so many things change.
Absolutely.
I told you that story about, somebody being 3 months behind on their payment after they were paying it forever. They died. The wife never knew that he had insurance on them, and it seems like that happens in older generations. Sorry about that. So, don't ever take for granted that everything's in place. Because the one thing that really drives me crazy is like, Sarah, do you have insurance? And then Sarah would say, oh, I'm all set.
I'm set.
How many times do we hear that, Don?
Oh, all the time.
And what percentage of those people are all set? Not very many.
Not very many is correct. And, a lot of times people think we're trying to sell them something. No, we just want to meet to make sure we have updated information. Maybe there are things that you forgot about.
Sarah. He's trying to get in their house to sell them more stuff. Case the joint, because he knows some guys.
So it's just important, to the professionals that we are, and we try to be, is to really just help people.
Yeah. When I'm at your house, you don't see this part of Eddie Buffalo. I'm there for business and to help your family out. This is just, we're trying to make something that's kind of boring fun, and I hope we're doing so. And then with all our listeners, we did break a record, Sarah, last week. Last Thursday, in the first 55 minutes of the show, we were at close to 2.8 million listeners.
You did mention that. Yeah, that's awesome.
And it's all because of Donnie Lowe, because he's super exciting. Super exciting.
I could go off the rails, but we already have somebody on this podcast that does it on
I know.
a daily
Sarah,
basis.
it derails our show all the time. That's what it is.
Whatever. As many times as you do, sir, you need to stop.
So let me ask you this, Don. Okay. I've had my insurance policy for quite a long time. And I don't want to pay for this anymore, Don. What can you do for me?
It depends. What type of policy is it?
I got a whole life policy I've been paying on since 1972. I want to get into them, what do you call them, man? Them annuity things I've heard about. All the young kids are getting into.
All the young kids are doing it. Well, you can still maintain that policy and let the dividends pay for your premium. So you don't have to pay for it at all.
What do you mean? I don't get it, Don.
Because most mutual companies pay an annual dividend. It's not guaranteed, but most of them have been doing it for well over 100 years. And
Crazy,
it is crazy. You think about it, over 100 years,
they've been through 2 pandemics now.
Yeah, 2 pandemics,
2 world wars.
2 world wars, the Civil War in some cases.
Stock market crash.
That's right, the Great Depression.
2008.
9/11.
Mm-hmm.
The country shut down, right? And again, 2008. When
like Donnie said, there's nothing guaranteed, but you do want to go. I'm not saying nothing bad about the smaller companies, but for me, I mean, if I'm buying a Chevy, I'm not going to a Ford store. If you want to take care of your family, you want to make sure you get something that is affordable for you, number one, and number two, makes the most sense, you know.
And that's the great thing that we have is such a variety of different companies and their products that will work for you specifically, for the individual. It's not like, hey, we've got this shiny thing here and you need this. You're going to need this, right? You want this one.
You bring up a really good point, Don, because so many people, they don't know how to get started. They're afraid to ask questions.
That's right.
They're afraid to talk to anybody, to be honest with you, That's why, and then this is a shameless plug. You ready? What am I going to show them, Don? What am I going to show everybody?
EBIagency.com.
Yes. Because at EBIagency.com, you can find out about us, learn a little bit more about us, look at solutions, look at the resources, look at the partners that we're with. Like, I think we're with that McCutcheon something advisory group. Oh, I can see she's trying to say something, but she's muted.
I'm not muted. I was mouthing McCutcheon something.
And then if you really don't want to talk to somebody, but you're kind of curious, you can go right online to either Insure Me Now Direct or our Ethos, which is our 2 of our partners. And you can go right through the whole step of actually finding out how much it's going to cost, what you have to do to get it. And we just try to make it easy. Like our buddy Sharon Radas said, this is fantastic. I don't even have to talk to an insurance salesman. So yeah, Sharon, I'm talking smack about you. She's doing wonderful, by the way. I know she was having some issues with her health. And she looks great. She really does. We're really proud of everything she's been doing right now.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
So here's a question for you, because I know we always bring it back around to people who own businesses and needing succession plans and everything else. Are they able to get life insurance paid for by the company through your website, or do they have to reach out to you directly?
As long as they use a business check, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a certain way it needs to be set up?
No, you're thinking more of an EWL, and I'm going to defer to Don.
Buy sell. She's thinking buy sell.
Talk a little bit about EWLs and why it's important for businesses, Don.
Sure, but I think just to kind of answer what you were asking, Sarah.
Now he's derailing us, Sarah.
No.
I have no control over this.
I asked a specific question because I've seen some people have life insurance on the owners for the business.
Right.
Because some of them find it important that's needed.
Super important.
So
it is super important. And for something like that, it's a little more complicated. So you don't want to just go on and just buy it without speaking with anybody. You've got those capabilities to do that, but for a situation like that, especially, you want to sit down because there are a lot of things that come into question. Exactly what do you want to do? Is it a buy-sell agreement between your partners and yourself? Is it something so that you can pass along the business to one of your children? And the way that, the business owner's spouse might be compensated would be through the life insurance policy that the business pays for. So yes, the business can pay for a life insurance policy.
Okay.
And, to bring up another thing, a lot of companies use it as golden handcuffs. And what do I mean by that, Don?
So what they will do is they will, for what's determined as a key person or a key employee, so somebody that business owner does not want to lose because that employee is so integral to the business, they might set up a whole life insurance policy to say, all right, if you stay with our company for 10 years, we're going to give you $1 million bonus or whatever the case might be. And how they fund that is pretty much buying that $1 million, almost pennies on the dollar, right? So that in 10 years, you've got $1 million cash value, and that's how you pay that employee.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, Sarah. Do you see a lot of your customers, companies with insurance, are using that as a tax write-off?
They try to. It really depends on the company and the structure and how it's handled. I'll save that for a tax tip.
That's a great tax.
Like say if they're getting $50,000 of term insurance for all their employees, that's a business expense. You're telling me it's not write-offable?
No, it is for employees. It is not for owners. There's a certain way it needs to be handled for owners.
But there's a way of doing it, right?
There's a way of doing it, yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to stash the cash, go see Sassy Sarah. She knows how.
Don't say stash the cash. That sounds bad.
When I started in the business, I had a guy that would say, I'm like, stop saying that. You can't say that. What is wrong with you? But now I think we went way over on our topic today because, Sarah's always derailing us, and now Donnie
Anyways,
on the bandwagon.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, send fan mail, reach out. I'm trying to tell Eddie we need to extend it for at least an hour for our podcast to provide more information.
We're at 55 minutes, Smarty Pants, so back off.
We're not that. No.
Yeah, I have a timer now. Yes.
You were on. Donnie didn't join until 12.
Always fighting me, folks. Always fighting.
I'm always fighting you. Anyways.
I don't get beat up this bad at the boxing gym.
Stop. If you want the podcast extended, send Eddie emails saying, Sassy Sarah is correct.
She's never going to see
Stop it. Listen to her. Because he doesn't listen to me when I say it, but if somebody else says it, he listens to them. So, just saying.
All right. Well, we are going to wrap this up like we always do. And I always say, if you like working with people that are just like you, we're the folks to see. www.ediagency.com, 716-306-2020. To get a hold of Sassy Sarah, you'll be able to go to the website, hit our partner tab, and the lovely Sassy Sarah will be there to help you. Or where's Robin? I haven't seen Robin in ages. Where's Robin?
She's on vacation.
Oh. Must be
I know.
Nice.
I know. I allow her to take vacations.
Must be nice. So tune in tomorrow. What's tomorrow's show, Donnie? What do we do on Thursdays?
Woohoo! Annuities.
Annuities. So exciting.
Annuity questions.
I'm super duper excited to see that. So for your buddy Eddie Buffalo, Sassy Sarah, and Donnie Lowe, tune in tomorrow, and everybody stay safe out there. Take care.